As Shedeur Sanders' name echoed throughout college football, it was inevitable that the debate over his NFL future would follow. But the discourse around Sanders' prospects isn't just about his potential or his leadership ability, it's about a possible conspiracy that could explain his shocking draft slide. In a media environment ripe for speculation, it's easy to spin a narrative that NFL owners purposefully nudged Sanders down the draft board. And while it's typical for sensational theories to crop up, the truth is that even the most connected draft insiders were caught off guard by his dramatic fall from grace. But what if the reasons for his drop go beyond whispers about his attitude or unsubstantiated theories of sabotage? Could there be something in his game that made NFL teams wary? On a recent episode of The Herd, Peterson didn't hold back, offering a stark assessment of what Shedeur needs to improve if he hopes to succeed at the next level. "The weakness I thought he had was pocket presence," Peterson said bluntly. "Shedeur, to me, is athletic, but he's not fast, certainly by NFL standards, so he's going to have to minimize what we see on tape and get really good in the pocket. If he does, and he gets comfortable there, which is a big if, I think he can be really good." It was a no-holds-barred critique. Peterson highlighted a flaw that many analysts had either ignored or downplayed in their earlier evaluations of Sanders: his ability to operate within the pocket. That internal clock, which every successful quarterback needs to survive in the NFL, often ticks too slowly for Sanders, putting him in precarious positions. To the untrained eye, Sanders looks like the total package, a QB with the charisma, leadership, and raw talent that could dazzle scouts. His poise and leadership on the field have been lauded, and his ability to make pinpoint throws under pressure is undeniable. But as Peterson pointed out, those qualities could be undermined by his inability to move efficiently within the pocket when the pressure ramps up. This weakness, often subtle but profoundly impactful, manifests in his inability to get the ball out quickly enough to avoid sacks or to find his second and third reads when the pocket collapses. While he can stand tall and deliver deep shots down the field with accuracy, his lack of speed and quickness under pressure could lead to major issues against faster, more aggressive NFL defenses. In Cleveland, a team that's searching for stability at quarterback, Shedeur Sanders could have an opportunity to prove his worth. The Browns' quarterback room isn't exactly brimming with elite talent, which means Sanders could be in the mix to start sooner rather than later. However, his path to securing that starting spot won't be a cakewalk. If he doesn't address his pocket presence this offseason, even his best performances might not be enough to get his name atop the depth chart. Sanders will have to come into camp with a sharper, more refined game, with particular emphasis on his pocket awareness and internal clock. Every quarterback has their weaknesses, but in Sanders' case, his could be more detrimental than most, especially in a division where defensive lines like the Ravens and Steelers are notorious for exploiting weaknesses. One thing is clear: Sanders will need to show significant growth this summer. He'll need to demonstrate that he can read defenses faster, make decisions quicker, and become more comfortable under center. This is an essential skill for NFL quarterbacks, one that could ultimately determine whether Sanders is a future star or another example of unrealized potential. The hope for Sanders is that this criticism will motivate him to work on the areas that need improvement. Given his family legacy, his drive to succeed has always been in question. But now, the stakes are higher than ever. The NFL doesn't hand out starting jobs to anyone, even legendary names like Shedeur Sanders. If he wants to show the world that he's more than just potential, he'll need to prove that he can handle the pressure of the NFL pocket. For Sanders, his NFL journey is just beginning, and whether he's able to address his weaknesses head-on could be the difference between a meteoric rise and a career filled with missed opportunities. One thing is certain: this upcoming summer will be make or break for the former Buffalo star. Is Shedeur Sanders' fate already sealed? Could his draft slide be the result of an underlying flaw that will keep him from starting in the NFL? His future with the Cleveland Browns could depend on how quickly he can fix his biggest weakness: pocket presence. The clock is ticking, and every move he makes this offseason could shape his career trajectory.